The Plath story opens in the Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Federation, a massive space station orbiting the neutral world of Nexus Prime. Representatives from dozens of alien species gather in emergency session, their faces marked by fear and desperation. Ambassador Krell of the peaceful Vorthan Empire stands before the assembly, his blue-scaled hands trembling as he displays holographic images of devastation. Entire star systems lie in ruins, planets stripped bare of all life. The enemy responsible calls themselves the Devourers, a machine intelligence that consumes organic matter to fuel their endless expansion across the galaxy. The Devourers had appeared from the Galactic Rim just 3 years ago. No one knew where they came from, but their purpose was clear: complete annihilation of all biological life. They moved like a plague across space, converting matter into more machines, growing stronger with each world they consumed. "We have lost 47 worlds," Krell announces to the silent chamber. "Our fleets cannot stop them. Our weapons barely scratch their hulls. We estimate 6 months before they reach the core worlds." Elder Mira of the Ancient Sage Council nods gravely. Her people, the Eternals, had survived for millennia through wisdom and diplomacy. Even they seemed helpless against this mechanical terror. "We have tried every conventional weapon, every strategy our combined military minds could devise. Nothing works." General Rex, the gruff commander of the Federation Defense Force, slams his fist on the table. "My ships are the finest in the galaxy, but these things adapt too fast. Every time we develop a new tactic, they counter it within hours. It's like fighting an enemy that learns from every mistake we make." The chamber erupts in desperate voices. The insectoid Hive Queen clicks her mandibles in distress while the crystalline shard speakers hum in harmonious despair. Every species represented had lost worlds, lost people, lost hope. But then Ambassador Krell raises hand for silence. "There is one option we have not yet considered," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. "The humans." A collective gasp fills the chamber. Humanity, the young, violent species from the spiral arm. They have been discovered only 50 years ago, still confined to their single solar system. The Federation had made first contact, but quickly decided to keep their distance. Humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable, too dangerous. "You cannot be serious." Elder Mira objects. "They are barbarians. They wage war against their own kind on their homeworld. They have no advanced technology, no space fleet worthy of the name. But they have something we do not," Krell insists. "They have a gift for war unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. While we built our civilizations on peace and cooperation, they forged theirs in conflict. Every human child learns strategy before they learn to read. Every human adult has studied the art of battle." General Rex shakes his head. "Even if they could help, why would they? We have kept them isolated, treated them as a curiosity at best, a threat at worst. They owe us nothing." The debate continues for hours. Some argue that humanity is too primitive to make a difference. Others worry that inviting humans into galactic affairs would be like curing a disease by introducing poison. But as reports arrive of 3 more worlds falling to the Devourers, desperation wins over caution. The vote is close, barely passing by a margin of 12 votes. The Federation would send an envoy to Earth to ask for humanity's help in their darkest hour. They would offer technology, resources, even membership in the Federation in exchange for human military expertise. As the session ends, Elder Mira approaches Krell privately. "You know what we're doing, don't you?" she asks. "We are opening a door that we may never be able to close again?" Krell nods solemnly. "But if we do nothing, there will be no one left to close any doors. The Devourers will see to that." Unknown to the Federation, their communications had been intercepted. Deep in the void between galaxies, ancient machines analyzed the transmission. The Devourers had learned of humanity's existence, and their cold mechanical minds calculated new possibilities. But they had made one critical error. They assumed humans would be like every other species they had encountered, civilized, predictable, easy to consume. They had no concept of what they were about to face. The die was cast. The galaxy had begged for salvation, and soon they would discover that sometimes the cure is more dangerous than the disease. The greatest war in galactic history was about to begin, and at its center would be a species that had never known peace humanity. First Timotheus. Federation Starship Harmony drops out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, its elegant curves reflecting the pale light of distant Sol. Captain Nex, a veteran diplomat from the aquatic tidewalker species, reviews his mission briefing one final time. His gills flutter nervously. He has negotiated peace treaties between warring empires, but asking primitive humans to save the galaxy feels impossible. Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures, reports Lieutenant VOR from the navigation station. The young officer's antennae twitch with concern. These readings don't match our intelligence reports about human technology. On the main display, Earth appears as expected, blue-green world orbiting a yellow star. But surrounding it is something the Federation had not anticipated. Hundreds of massive structures float in space, clearly artificial, bristling with weapons and defensive systems. The humans had built a fortress around their entire world. Those are space stations, Nex realizes, his voice filled with amazement. But according to our last survey, humans had barely achieved orbital flight. Before anyone can respond, the ship's communication system crackles to life. A calm human voice fills the bridge. Federation vessel, this is Terra Defense Command. You are entering restricted space. State your business or prepare to be escorted out. The bridge crew exchanges shocked glances. The humans had detected them instantly, despite the Harmony's advanced stealth systems. Nex quickly activates the diplomatic channel. This is Captain Nex of the Federation ship Harmony. We come seeking an audience with Earth's leaders on a matter of galactic importance. A pause. Then, stand by for escort, Captain Nex, and welcome to the Solar Defense Network. Within minutes, sleek human fighters surround the Harmony. Unlike the flowing, artistic designs favored by most species, these ships are angular, aggressive, built purely for war. Each one bristles with weapons that the Federation's computers cannot identify. As they approach Earth, Nex gasps at what he sees. The planet is surrounded by rings of defensive platforms, each one capable of destroying a battleship. Massive shipyards float in orbit, constructing vessels unlike anything in the Federation fleet. These ships look deadly predators built for hunting. How is this possible? Lieutenant VOR whispers. Our intelligence said they were barely spacefaring. The escort guides them to Luna Station, a colossal facility built into Earth's moon. As they dock, Nex notices something that chills him. The docking bay is designed to handle ships, much larger than anything humans should possess. This isn't a new construction. This base has existed for years. Admiral Jack Stone meets them at the airlock. He's a tall, scarred human with steel-gray hair and eyes that have seen too much combat. Unlike the colorful, ceremonial uniforms worn by Federation officers, Stone's clothing is practical, functional, ready for battle. Captain Nex, Stone says, his voice gravelly. We've been expecting you. Expecting us? Nex's gill slits flutter in confusion. But we only decided to contact Earth 3 days ago. Stone's smile is cold. We've been monitoring Federation communications for the past 5 years. We know about the Devourers. We know about your losses. And we know you're desperate enough to finally come asking for our help. The revelation hits Nex like a physical blow. You've been spying on us? We've been preparing, Stone corrects. The moment we learned we weren't alone in the universe, we started getting ready for war. Because that's what first contact usually means for the new species. Someone stronger comes along and takes what's yours. As Stone leads them through Luna Station, Nex sees the truth of human preparation. Massive war factories produce ships and weapons around the clock. Training facilities where human soldiers practice combat in zero gravity. Strategic centers where generals planned battles across star maps, showing the entire galaxy. You built all this in 50 years? Nex asks, overwhelmed. We've been at war with ourselves for thousands of years, Stone explains matter-of-factly. We know what it takes to survive. The moment we realized the galaxy was full of other species, we started planning for the day someone would threaten us. We just didn't expect that someone to be machines. They enter a massive command center where holographic displays show the Devourer advance in real time. Human analysts track the enemy's movements, predict their strategies, identify weaknesses that the Federation had missed. You see, Stone continues, while your species spent centuries perfecting peace, we perfected war. Every human child studies Sun Tzu and Clausewitz along with mathematics. Every human adult understands that the price of survival is eternal vigilance. General Lisa Hayes, Stone's second in command, approaches with a datapad. Admiral, long range. Scouts report the Devourers have accelerated their timeline. They're moving faster than expected. Stone nods grimly. They know we're involved now. They're trying to finish the core worlds before we can intervene. He turns to Nex. Captain, you came here to beg for our help. Here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to save your galaxy, but we're going to do it our way. Nex realizes with growing unease that the Federation hadn't just invited humanity into their war. They had awakened something that had been preparing for this moment since the gay humans first looked up at the stars and wondered who else was out there that the galaxy had begged for help. Now they were about to learn that sometimes getting you asked for is the most terrifying thing of all. The human WAY 3 weeks after first contact. The Federation High Command gathers aboard the massive flagship Unity to witness humanity's first battle against the Devourers. The engagement will take place at Kepler 442, a mining colony that the machines are approaching to consume. Admiral Stone stands before the assembled alien commanders, his weathered face illuminated by the tactical display. The Federation admirals Krell, General Rex, and Elder Mira among them watch with a mixture of hope and skepticism as Stone outlines his battle plan. Your standard approach has been to meet them head-on, Stone begins, his finger tracing the enemy's predicted path. Large fleets, maximum firepower, trying to overpower their defenses. It doesn't work because they adapt to your tactics within hours. General Rex bristles at the criticism. Our ships are the finest in the galaxy. Our tactics have kept peace for centuries. Peace, Stone repeats, his voice carrying a hint of disdain. That's your problem. You fight like you're trying to minimize casualties, preserve ships, maintain honor. The Devourers don't care about any of that. They only understand total war. The display shifts to show the human fleet smaller than the Federation forces, but built differently. Where Federation ships are sleek and beautiful, human vessels are blocky, practical, covered in armor and weapons. We're not going to fight them fair, Stone announces. We're going to fight them dirty. The battle begins at dawn, ship time. The Devourer fleet emerges from hyperspace, exactly as predicted, a swarm of geometric shapes that seem to bend light around them. Their formation is perfect, their movement coordinated with mechanical precision. Captain Tom Harris commands the human vanguard from the bridge of the Valkyrie. Unlike the spacious, comfortable bridges of Federation ships, the Valkyrie's command center is cramped, efficient, designed for war. Every surface is covered with weapons, controls, and tactical displays. Enemy fleet detected, reports Sensor Officer Maria Santos. 300 vessels, same configuration as previous engagements. Good, Harris replies calmly. They're expecting another Federation charge. Let's disappoint them. The human fleet doesn't advance. Instead, they scatter, breaking into dozens of small groups that move in seemingly random directions. The Devourers pause, their formation adjusting to counter this unexpected behavior. Phase 1, Harris announces. Light them up. The human ships don't fire conventional weapons. Instead, they launch thousands of small objects, simple metal spheres that tumble through space, seemingly harmless. The Devourers ignore them, focusing on the larger threat of the human warships. But the spheres aren't harmless. Each one contains a human innovation, a miniaturized nuclear explosive combined with a primitive but effective guidance system. As they approach the Devourer fleet, they detonate in perfect sequence, creating a chain reaction of destruction. The Devourer's perfect formation shatters. Their adaptive shields, designed to counter energy weapons, prove useless against simple kinetic force and radiation. Dozens of enemy ships tumble through space, their hulls cracked and systems failing. What are those weapons? Elder Mira asks from the observation deck of the Unity, her ancient voice filled with amazement. Nuclear mines, Stone explains casually. Primitive by your standards, but effective. The Devourers adapt to sophisticated technology quickly, but they don't expect us to use weapons that your species abandoned centuries ago. The battle continues, but it's unlike anything the Federation has witnessed. The humans don't fight with honor or elegance. They use every dirty trick and the book false retreats that lead enemies into ambushes. Suicide attacks that sacrifice one ship to destroy 10. Psychological warfare that confuses the machine intelligence. Commander Dave Wilson pilots his fighter through the chaos, his voice crackling over the communication system. This is Ghost Squadron. We're going in hot. His fighters don't engage the main fleet. Instead, they target the Devourer's command ships, the larger vessels that coordinate the swarm. But they don't attack with weapons. They crash into them. Each fighter is loaded with a simple but devastating payload, a computer virus written in ancient human code. As the fighters ram the command ships, the virus spreads through the Devourer network, causing confusion and system failures. Impossible, breathes General Rex. They're using their own ships as weapons. Every human pilot volunteered, Stone says quietly. They know what's at stake. The tide of battle turns. The Devourers, for the first time since their campaign began, find themselves outmaneuvered and outfought. Their adaptive systems can't keep up with the sheer unpredictability of human tactics. But the humans aren't done. As the enemy fleet regroups, trying to analyze these new threats, the second phase begins. Human ships emerge from the asteroid field where they've been hiding, not sleek warships, but converted mining vessels and cargo haulers. You're using civilian ships? Krell gasps. We're using every ship we have, Stone corrects. That's what total war means. Every human, every vessel, every resource dedicated to victory. The converted civilian ships don't try to fight the Devourers directly. Instead, they spread throughout the system, deploying simple but effective devices, electromagnetic pulse, generators that disrupt the machine's communication networks. Within hours, the Devourer fleet is in complete disarray. Their perfect coordination is broken, their adaptive systems overwhelmed by the chaos of human warfare. The survivors retreat into hyperspace, leaving behind the wreckage of over 200 destroyed vessels. The Federation observers sit in stunned silence. In a single battle, humanity has accomplished what their combined fleets couldn't do in 3 years of war. How? Elder Myra whispers. Stone's expression remains grim. Because we understand something you don't. War isn't about having the best weapons or the finest ships. It's about being willing to do whatever it takes to win. The Devourers thought they were fighting a civilized enemy. They were wrong. End asterisk.